Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Camouflage of the World. I'm Mike B, and today we're going to be doing a follow-up to the other video that I did on the Romanian M1990 woodland pattern. This one I mentioned in that other video that there was a weird variation that I saw that this is a relatively unused shirt, and you can tell already if you haven't seen the other video, go to the playlist and go to the M1990 summer variant and check that out. Now this is what we call, because we don't know about it, the autumn variant. Now, there's a couple possibilities as to why this pattern appeared this way. But first, if you haven't seen the other video, I'll just give you a brief rundown on the Romanian 1990 pattern in general. If not, you can just kind of sit through this. It'll be brief. So basically, this shirt is patterned off of the Romanian summer uniform from the Cold War era. And it's made of a cotton material. But before that, Romania actually didn't have a camouflage pattern that was official for their entire military. So they were just wearing kind of a khaki-ish olive drab uniform. They had both summer and winter variants. And then around 1990, they came out with a camouflage pattern based on a bunch of other different patterns, but it's actually pretty unique. You can see all these weird brush-like patterns, and this one's, it's just a little bit different color scheme than the wood, or what we call the summer variant, the woodland one. But the pattern itself seems to be very similar, if not the same, but we don't know if it's just a variation in a dye lot. A certain batch at a factory had a mishap with the dyes and they didn't have the right colors and it just kind of got printed like this. Or it could have been very well a pattern that was designed for more like fall and springtime when there's not a lot of green and there's more brown. I don't know. I wouldn't really think that they would have two variations, since Romania at that point was in pretty bad shape after the fall of the Soviet Union. They were in bad shape before, and then afterwards it was like, holy crap. So I don't know if they'd have two variants. So I'm just going to probably assume this is just a bad dye lot, or somebody screwed up at the factory. However, there's too many of these floating around for it to be kind of like a coincidence. So I actually don't know. Maybe it was a shortage, maybe it wasn't, maybe they actually intended this. All I know is this would work extremely well up in the northern U.S. In the fall. It's just a really brown dominant. Even the only green really is kind of a muted, like, not even green. It's just almost like a grayish green, which is really cool. It's a pretty light color. Obviously the light's reflecting a little bit harsher than it looks in real life. But yeah, it's the same actual pattern, uniform as the other 1990 pattern. You got the epaulets for the ranks. You got the little tiny buttons, little 2-hole buttons. This one's got a nice cigarette hole right there, which is pretty cool. I sell these in my shop too, if you didn't know, at mikesmilitary.com. They're pretty cheap. I don't have a lot of these left, and I don't plan on getting any more because they're hard for me to get. But yeah, I expect things like that, like little holes and stuff. But yeah, this is actually in pretty good shape. I'm getting a nice close-up of the pattern here. Yeah, and you can see that the edges too are kind of, it just leads me to believe that something went wrong at the factory, because on the other one, it looks like the edges are pretty solid, like this little pattern right here. But look at that. It's a blended kind of pattern. It looks like there might have been some slippage on the template, which actually makes the camouflage pattern more effective, if you really think about it. And that's my opinion. It's not really a fact. It's just what I've noticed. So yeah, I don't know what's up with this particular variant. I just thought I'd make a separate video on it, since it does look like a slightly different pattern. These were used until about 2002 in conjunction with the later M1994 uniform, which I'll also be making a video on. You can see guys wearing both this and the 1994 pattern at the same time until it was replaced by DPM in 2002. So that's really all I've got. This is a nice short video, but I just figured it deserved its own video because it's a really cool pattern. I'm a fan of the 1990 pattern in general, and this is just a really sweet variant. If there would have been one in my size that I would have been able to keep, I would have definitely kept one of each, but I just kept a nice faded one that's got some rank insignia on it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'll try to answer any questions you have. I am not an expert on this. I know about as much as my friends from Romania know, which isn't that much about this pattern. It was like, yep, they wanted a camouflage pattern and they used this until 2002. And that's about it. But anyway, I appreciate you watching, guys. If you consider supporting me on Patreon, the link is in the description. It really helps me get cool things like this to make videos on. And other things like my World War I in Vietnam series. Currently, I get props for that, like helmets, hats, gear, uniforms, etc., to help teach you a little bit better, like visually, about history. And Patreon is a really good way for me to interact with everybody that supports the channel indirectly. It's very, very interactive, and also we do take votes, and you guys get to choose what I spend your money on for donations to help improve the channel and get you guys some cooler content that you want to see. So anyway, if not, that's totally fine, but I would appreciate that, and it would really help out. I just appreciate you watching, first of all. And yeah, so if you haven't already, make sure you hit that thumbs up button, because that actually does matter in the algorithm. Again, let me know what you think in the comments. I'll try to get back to you if you got a question. And we'll see you on the next episode of Camouflage of the World.